weight as down as possible. That's something we really thought about because these particular instruments, the V stages, 76 and 88, are really aimed at our live musicians. We wanted to make something that was robust, and you can tell by the metal top, it feels great, the wood ends, but also we tried to keep that weight to as much of a minimum as we could. However, quality instruments do weigh a little bit, but so we tried to keep that in mind. I tell you what, since we're on the 88 section,
Sure.
let's move on to the next section, which is the electric piano section. So
yeah,
that's cool with you.
I love the electric
Yeah.
piano section. Obviously, Roland, in the history of the RD series, for all of you that remember the RD 1000, and we can keep on going on and on and on. I personally, the first Roland stage piano that I owned was an RD 700. Loved it, loved it. Still love it. Some of the sounds in there were just absolutely paramount to a lot of the things that I did. And so I think this continues on with Roland's reputation for really having real strong electric pianos.
Yeah, actually, yeah, and we redid some of the pianos. We redid the pianos. So let me just show you real quick what's going on in
Sure.
here. So in the piano section, in the electric piano, I'll shut off the piano,
Okay.
and you see here it is. It popped up. So this is cool. I go ahead. Can have this, and I'll go ahead and check the tones. So I can go ahead and have a tine. I can have some reeds, maybe a digital piano, which we're going to get into because I know a House of Worship like some of our old school digital.
Oh, yeah.
And then also some of the clav. And you see, I favored some of those old digitals in here. So and even the clav. So this is cool. Now let's get into this right here. I'll go ahead and start with the tine. Okay. So I'll bring up the tine right quick. Let me turn my volume back up. Now, here's a great thing. On the Tine pianos, once again, with this, we can adjust different things in the master effects. On this one, I have a little chorus going on. Adjust that. And this is just for this section. This is cool. I can say turn it on. I can adjust tremolo right on top. I can even adjust what kind of little bit of dirt into if I want to. So right in there. Or I could say, you know what, let's turn those off very fast. Now, I'm going to go ahead and have some fun and say, you know what, let's go ahead, Charles, and right away, let's do some editing on this guy.
Okay.
So I'm go ahead, have this guy. I might say, you know what? Let's go ahead inside. And what did I say? I'm hungry for knowledge. What do? I press and hold that menu, hit that on and off button, and now I can get in here and make this electric piano exactly how I want. You see, I can change the different type of instruments that are available to us in that particular model. So I'll go ahead and keep it on the 74. It's what I like. I can adjust the bell, even the detuning. And now here's what I like, Charles. I can get into here and adjust that key off resonate. I can have it resonate the cabinet. I can maybe have more mechanical noise when I press the keys and off the keys. Even go in here and adjust the damper noise and make it kind of crazy because the electric pianos are cool. Even though they're electric instruments, they're very organic. They have a lot of cool things going on. So just in that little bit, and let's jump to the next screen, maybe a little... I don't know if you can hear it in your ears,
I can
but
hear it.
you can make this guy where it hisses just like like it's an old keyboard.
Yeah,
so you can make it as clean or as dirty as you want. So I'll make it more toward the clean side. So check this out. I have this in here. You know. And if I want to, we can go ahead and adjust some detuning.
Okay.
Right on the top. Right on the top. You know?
Yep.
And did you notice when I let go?
You hear it. You hear the release.
You hear the mechanical noise off. And if I want to, I say, well, you know, maybe those are getting covered up by some of the effects. I can put on sound lift, and that makes sure that all those little subtle parameters, those little noises, those nuances just kind of get brought to the top of that little mix.
I like that.
And then if I wanted to, we can have some fun and say, you know what, I don't want that chorus. I want to change it to a phaser. If you see the little parentheses,
Yep.
that means hold shift, hit it. Now we have, adjust it
Yeah.
very quick on the fly. Too much, no problem. Dial it back. So, how quick were we able to do that? And then once again, within this editing section, shift, and I can jump to the different screens. You can see I have a lot of different master effects I can choose in here. Look at that, a
Wow.
lot of different things. My different routings. I can even EQ. Wait a minute, Charles.
Yeah.
We just EQ'd the piano.
We just
Now
did.
we can EQ the E piano. That there. We can go into here. You see my tremolo. Look at this.
Now-
Even the type of cases.
Yeah, now I'm gonna
that are
stop. I'm gonna
available.
stop
So
right there,
this-
just to let everybody know. Now, you have a 2-band EQ on the amp simulator, but what Ed is talking about just now is EQing the actual piano, preamplifier. So we're talking about EQing it, and before we get to the 2-band EQ on the amp simulator that's in the electric piano section. I just wanted to point that out to everybody, Ed, real quick. So that's
Okay.
real cool.
Yeah, so you just see there's just a whole bunch of cool things, even, how are we doing the line, case, whirly, guitar, what are we using? So this makes it a lot of fun, and then, of course, the level and the panning, and even the MIDI channel receive. So this is cool. Now, I want to show you this. Now, we
Okay.
were focusing on all right?
Yeah.
We were focusing on the EP, the line, but check this out. Roland years ago made a keyboard called the RD1000. It was our
Yeah.
first RD back in the day. RD1000. Our founder, Mr. Kakahashi, they thought, and I believe this was in 1986. Many didn't expect it to go over well. Well, they were wrong. So all these digital pianos, Mr. Kakahashi did that, and the RD section is our longest line at Roland. So this is really cool. Now, with that RD1000, we also made a module available too, and
right.
that's become for many years and even today the main stage or one of the key sounds of House of Worship gospel music. And do you know the name of that module,
Oh, yeah.
Charles? Putting you on the spot.
The MKS
What's
20.
what's that? MKS 20. So this is cool. So guess what? So guess what? This makes it fun. Roland's kind of like, hey, we have this history.
Right.
I'm going to go into digital, and I'm going to press in so we can see. We put a lot of the SAEP pianos in here, and you see
Yep.
I already favorited some in here that I can go ahead and just call up. And, of course, once again, I can edit these as well. So I could say, let's do this space D. Bring it up in my mix,
Sure. Sounds great.
Now, here's another great thing about the V-stage. I almost said the V piano. The V-stage, I can say, you know what? I want to put this, because this sounds good by itself. But imagine if I used our synth section to kind of elevate that sound. So I already know that there's a pad there. I turn it on, maybe adjust it to taste, and now maybe bring in another pad, maybe a little bit of a string, bring that up in here.
Sounds great.
So how cool is that? Yeah, right in there. So there is some of that DNA from the MKS 20, and we're in discussions right now, maybe putting a little bit more in there if that's what our users want. So we'll see what happens. But how cool is that we're bringing some of that old school goodness to the new school of the V-stage?
I mean,
So that's something
I
that
absolutely love that. Anybody who's been using Roland for years, like myself, had the MKS 20. I had the P330. For those of you that don't know, that's the little brother of the MKS 20. I had a JV 2080, the XV 5080, which is probably my second favorite module next to the JD 990. But just to know that some of those elements are in this keyboard is fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
And you made a great point. Was saying some of those old school rack modules.
Yep,
Well, did you know? Did your users know that a lot of those sounds are available at RolandCloud.com in our Zenology Pro app? So a lot of those key sounds they can go ahead and use there, and then as if I mentioned before, you can export them and import them into the V stage.
absolutely.
How cool is
It's great. Just as a side note and a plug, if you don't have Rolling Cloud, you need to get it. Everybody, you need to get Rolling Cloud. It it it's I kind of liken it to it's a great complement to everything that you can do, and because the V stage is using the Zencore technology, uh, it just helps enhance everything that you're doing. And so, since you mentioned that, let's talk about uh, the modules that you can go to download on Rolling Cloud and put in for the V stage.
Okay, so this is actually good. So with and let me I'm just switching over to my screen. Let me bring this up for you real
Yeah.
quick. Let me see here this here. So I'm going to go to the Roland website. Let me go ahead and pick up the this section here. And you made a good point. Thank you for that segue there. Uh, if I were to go to, let me switch over to my computer here so you guys can see my computer. So in my computer section here, I can see the V stage. All
Hmm.
right, great. So there they both are in that section. So what does Charles mean? You buy a V stage. Now what? Well, with a V stage, you also have access to the synth model expansions of the V stage. So this means, and let me zoom in a little bit so you can see this. So you get the Zencore sound engine. I'm looking right here, which has well over 400 sounds, and you can download more. Now here's the cool part: when you buy a Roland V stage, the 76 or the 88,
Hmm.
you are entitled to 4 free model expansions on Roland Cloud. That's the Jupiter 8, the Juno 106, the JX 8P, and the SH 101 model expansions that are free downloads for registered V Stage owners. Now, these are normally when you buy them for others, Roland, different ones. These are approximately $150 each.
Yes.
So that's 600 real dollars that you get for free when you purchase a V Stage. So that is pretty cool right out of there. So you can
That
go
is
ahead
great.
and
Yeah, that is great. That
yeah,
is great. Great.
yeah, you can install those, and those actually live inside the V stage. So let me switch back over to that real quick so I can show you. Since we're getting into maybe the synth section,
Yes. Yes, that's a
and
good way to bridge
good, s-
bridge that. Good segue.
yeah, good segue. All right, so check this out. So I'm gonna go over here and make sure these guys are off, and in my in this section, we actually put in different sounds like the J-pop. J-pop is in here. So how cool is that? That is another main stage, main sound that's used a lot for the gospel music. And then when
Yes.
you incorporate something like that with the organ, you know, that
That's
can
it.
be a lot of fun. So
That's it.
now check this out. Once again, the sounds that I like, I can go ahead and have them pop up right on top, the ones that I tend to lean toward.
Okay.
And once again, if I want to, I can push down into here and you see all of these different sounds. Look at this.
Wow.
All these different sounds that are available to me, and I can go ahead and favorite some and have them show up right on the knob here.
Sure.
But watch this at the bottom. It says, hey, there's more stuff here. Check this out. So if I press and hold shift and hit the cursor to the right, I have all my scenes, right? But check this out. I have expansions right here.
Yeah.
So look right in here. Those Jupiter A Juno 106, JX8P, and SH101 now live inside my V stage. And remember, those were free downloads for registered V-stage users. And now I can use any of these sounds inside. Little quick bit of trivia in here on some of these old sounds. When you start going through the old sounds, because some of the guys are like, "Hey, that's just doesn't. Where's my old sound from back in the '80s?" Well, check it out. If you go further into some of these synth model expansions and you look toward the bottom, at the end, when you see a tone that is in all capital letters,
Yep.
that means that that's an original tone. So these are so fun to just nostalgia. So that quickly I can have with my V stage. I can go ahead and use cutoff, open up that filter, and I'm using actual original tone or patch of a Jupiter 8 from back in the day, and then I can go ahead and make my adjustments to play it live.
Wow.
So that's
good.
something that's
Yeah,
really cool.
I recognized a few of them like Solar Winds. If any of you who ever used the Jupiter 8 back in the day, you know some of those Solar Winds and Fuzzy Fifths and Solar Voice.
Oh yeah.
So
Or of course the whole, the
that's
adjust
it.
them wherever you want. This does cutoff, but if I hold shift, it now does resonance. So that's kind of so we can really get in there and have some fun with that.
Wow.
Now, once again, let's go ahead and review. If I was hungry for some knowledge, how do I go in here and make some adjustments that, I'm like, where are these adjustments? Remember, I'm hungry for knowledge, press and hold menu, hit the on and off button, and now we can dig in and make even more. Once again, if I wanted to go through, I could just press the cursors, or I could go ahead and jump around by section.
Right.
Once again, I can EQ this part. I want to show you this. This comes up here. I want to show you something that's kind of funny. So I have the Juno 106 chorus in here.
Yes.
And sometimes customers are like, hey, this sound is so loud, I don't understand what's going on. Well, check this out. I can come into here. I'll turn it on.
Okay.
In here. And I can say, you know what? Now you can adjust the different modes like the Juno 106, but the Juno 106 was known for the chorus being loud. So check this out. If you want to have that old, you can have as clean or as dirty as you want, kind of old school. So it can really recreate some of that. So I just wanted to show that to some of you, because sometimes on some of the sounds, customers are like, hey, what's going on? Why is it making all that noise? Well, that's just part of the sound. But you can adjust that, turn it on, turn it off, however your heart's desire. But if you wanted to have that, that's available to you here. That's something that's really cool.
I love that.
So I wanted to that's actually cool. Now, also for my church guys, let's go ahead and turn the piano back on for fun, and I'll turn off this guy. Now, sometimes for some of the contemporary CCM churches, we might want to have different reverbs available.
Sure.
All right. So in my reverb section over here, we have different reverbs. We have halls, and I'm going to go ahead and press menu because I just want to pop it open and just take a look at what's there. So, and if I wanted to, we could have just done this. We could have just held shift and changed to the different types this fast, whatever we want. So what I wanted to show you real quick is we have a shimmer reverb in here.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to go ahead and have that level, maybe that pitch feedback and for your own settings, you could have something like that going on. And maybe I'll go ahead and turn on that synth B. You can have that low, drone going on.
Yep.
That feedback of that. Right in there. So not only do you have your V piano and maybe a synth sound, but we can actually use that shimmer reverb to give us that, I don't know how to say it right, Charles, that CCM drone,
Yeah.
that whole.
That's like the base of most CCM songs.
Yeah. So we can totally recreate that. And then check this out. I'll go ahead. check out my organ. I have it on, right? I have my
Yep.
organ on,
Right.
but I have it set to a pedal. I'm actually using an EV5, a Roland EV5 pedal,
Yep.
and I have the speed on. Like I don't have it on, but watch what happens on the organ. I can bring up that level with my foot, just like a real tonal organ. So I can have that drone, and then slowly bring up my organ. Maybe kick on the speed.
Wow.
Bring it back down, all with my foot. Because the V, and look, there's that shimmer.
Yeah, there's a shimmer.
Let it go. So, so in the V stage, we also have 4 pedal inputs. So we have control 1, 2, and 3, and these can all be assigned per what's going on here. This is a lot of fun. So each scene can have different pedal assignments. So 1, 2, 3 are fully assignable. The 4th one is dedicated hold. That's a dedicated hold. Now, check out how hard this is to program. If I want to, if I press and hold menu, and I'm like, I want to adjust pedal 2. Let's say I adjust pedal 2. I can press and hold assignment, give pedal 2 a wiggle. Look, it moved to pedal 2.
Wow.
I could touch pedal 1. Okay, what do you want to put there? Cool. The lights that are flashing are like, okay, maybe I don't want to put like a rotary thing. Maybe I want to have part of my tremolo kicking or something like that. I can say, oh, I want to have that FX parameter there.
Yeah.
So this is cool. So let me show you this, Charles, and I just enjoy showing this board because it's really a lot of fun. So let's say for pedals, I want to have some fun, and there's one I love in here. This one called organ clav with 2 brass. So how I have this sound set up, I have my organ, but I also have it when I hit the velocity. So for you players playing live, I can go ahead and have that velocity kick on that brass. So that's cool. Now let's take it one step further. I have this clav, and like, what's going on? What does this mean, Ed? Well, check this out. I can use my EV5, which I already have pre-assigned, and I'll let you take a look. I'll hold down the assignment. I have my EV5 triggering this wah, which is FX controller 3.
Right.
How cool is that? Now
Wow,
with
wow.
this, now I'll go ahead and turn off that organ and that. Not an auto wah. I'm doing it with my foot. It really makes you want to learn how to play clav correctly. And it can really add that sizzle when you're playing live.
Oh, wow. Wow, that is fantastic. So, like I said, for all of you, whether you're a one-man band or you're playing in a band, a lot of these features are really great enhancement tools in order to be able to add more layers, more flavor to your playing. Sometimes it's not all about the technique and what you're doing. Sometimes it's about just the knowledge of what you're using in the technology. And so this V-stage has got a lot underneath the hood, and there's more stuff to come.
Yeah. So I tell you what, I know we're probably running a little long, but I want me to show you this part. Because the sound is subjective, but the cool thing about the V-stage, you can totally customize your sound and make it your own. Very, very fun. Now, what about the computer integration?
Yes.
Now, because a lot of times we're finding that our musicians are not only using this to play live, but they have backing tracks, they have hybrid setups. Some cats we notice will hook up a phone and they kind of record themselves playing and do a Instagram live or whatever.
Yes.
So how does that work with the V-stage? Well, with the V-stage, we have different ins and outs. Like I'll cover this super quick for your guys. Let's say, we have, of course, our phone ins, and you can kind of see it. Phone ins here.
Yep.
We have XLR outputs here,
Yep.
balanced XLR outputs. We have balanced quarter-inch outputs. We have a quarter-inch sub-outs, so this could be cool for running different types of audio out. We have quarter-inch line inputs. We have an XLR mic input. So if I want to, I can run a mic through here too. So this is really cool, and have the mic go through my V-stage. I also have two external device ports for USB external device ports.
Sure.
So if I want to use modern USB keyboards, I can do that, or other USB peripherals.
Sure.
I have a USB-A memory and a USB-C computer port right here. Of course, I have MIDI in and two MIDI out, so I can actually use this to control my other keyboards on the stage. The V-stage can save patch changes of other makes and manufacturers' models of keyboards. So when it's time, Pastor calls an audible, I can switch the scene, and the V-stage can tell those other keyboards where to go. So that's kind of cool.
Oh,
and of
okay.
course, the pedal inputs. Now, let me show you this, Charles. This is where we're really going to have fun. So in the V-stage, we can go ahead on the USB-C. It can run USB audio compliant drivers, which means we just plug it into the computer or your phone, and now we can go ahead and stream live direct from the keyboard.
Wow.
So we're using the keyboard's audio right in there. So that means if I have a mic plugged in, everything I'm playing, it's going to come out here live. And I'm sure we're going to see more players do this.
Absolutely.
Now, here's where it gets even more fun. Let me switch over for you guys. So I can also download the Roland drivers, and you see I have here Ableton Live.
Yep.
Almost did the wrong screen. Ableton Live, and check this out. If we look at the I/O of the V-stage, check this out. On the input configuration, check this out. We have 18 in. We have the main,
Wow.
the sub-outs, we have the organ, the piano, the EP, the synth A, synth B, the input, and the mic. All of these are able to be recorded into Ableton simultaneously.
Wow.
On the outputs, we have the main and the sub. So maybe I have a backing track going dedicated to a sub out, or
Sure.
maybe I have the backing track and all the keyboards going through the main, but maybe I put the mic and route that through the sub out, so I can have a talkback mic right in
Gotcha.
here. So that could be cool. I could be talking to the whole band. I could route the backing track and my mic to the sub out, and that way I can talk to everybody as we're playing. Now, I've already come into here. Let me move this. I've already come into here, and I've set everybody up. So check this out. I have the main outputs here, the sub out right there. So the main is giving me a copy of everybody. That's what that is.
Right.
The sub out, anything going through the sub out, that'll be recorded. Here's my organ, my piano, my EP, synth 1, synth A, synth B, my input. So if I have a keyboard that doesn't have this USB capability, guess what? I got you, girl. You can just plug right in, got the input, and it can be recorded through the V-stage as an audio interface into your DAW of choice, Logic, Ableton, whatever. And then, of course, the mic. And then, of course, let's not forget, we can still record MIDI.
Right.
We can still record all the MIDI. So if, Charles, you and I are playing, and I'm like, Charles, you played wonderfully, but I don't like that piano. Let's go ahead and make adjustments.
Yeah.
We can adjust it, and then with that MIDI, go ahead and record again. Now let's do this. I'm going to go ahead for fun, and let's grab all of these cats here, and let's see. I always mess this up. Let's go ahead and arm everybody right here. Let me move my actual QWERTY keyboard right here.
Okay.
And we're going to grab everybody, and we're going to arm everybody. Everybody's
Okay.
armed. I didn't need MIDI. Now I'm going to switch this over for linears, because this is really cool. I'm going to say, you know what? Let's go ahead and flip this over. Yeah, I don't need you. Now watch this, Charles. I'm not really concerned with anything really right now. I'm just going to let it play, and I'm just going to say, you know what? Let's just go ahead and start recording. I'm going to back this guy up. Record. I'm not concerned. We can also do the tempo. We can have that locked. But check this out very quickly on here, and I'll go ahead. There's my organ.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's go ahead and kick on the piano and the organ. off that organ. Now there's the piano. So let's start on some electric piano. Let's go ahead and bring on maybe that J-pop brass or somebody right here. Let's go ahead and bring on another synth. Let's shut off that acoustic piano and that electric piano and just have the synth section. Let's go ahead and turn everybody play, everybody in the pool. So here we go. They've got everybody now. So look at what we just did this quickly, and this is something that I just love about the V-stage that a lot of our competitors cannot do. So I can come into here, and remember, let's go ahead and do some soloing. This is just recording what come out the main, so just everybody. And then maybe if I want to hear, there's that. So look at that. We just recorded all aspects of the V-stage right on the fly.
Wow.
Over one USB-C cable. One USB-C cable. This is really, 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 really cool. And the whole time, we could be playing live out of our main outputs, and we could be recording the session. We could be recording the concert. We could go ahead and run a line from the main mix of the church into the line inputs and just have it going. So I just wanted to show you that aspect of the V-stage. I don't want you to miss that.
That is fantastic. And now Ed was showing us, obviously showing us Ableton Live, but there is Logic Pro capability, correct?
Correct. Any DAW. Any DAW.
Any DAW.
The V-stage just shows up as an audio interface. It shows up as an audio interface. 18 in, 2 stereo out. So yeah, you can use PreSonus Studio One. You could use Pro Tools, whatever. Just install the Roland drivers so they know how to talk to each other, and you're set to go. So that's really cool. Now, real quick before because I definitely want to see if anyone has any questions, because we definitely want to answer any questions. But also inside the V-stage, I feel like old school ShamWow. Wait, there's more. So inside the V-stage, we also have DAW control, shift. We have a DAW control for main stage. So if you want to, you can run main stage, and it'll show a version of main stage on the screen, so we can go ahead and not have to be touch our computer. We can go ahead and switch sounds with main stage live in the V-stage. Another great thing with the V-stage, we can go ahead and I'll show you this real fast. We can go ahead, if it's red, it's sending MIDI internally and externally. If it's yellow, it's only going on the inside, and if it's blue, it's sending MIDI externally only. This means I can go ahead and send different MIDI things to external hardware instruments or software.
Gotcha.
This is cool. So the V-stage gives you a lot of flexibility in your live and recording and hybrid setups. So it's really cool in that sense.
Oh, that's a real cool feature.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you have to dive into the DAW, and you have to do all of this, assigning this and assigning that, and I got to do a whole separate take. But this gives you that control on the front end.
Yeah, and I got to give it up to the House of Worship musicians, because I see a lot of them are playing back with tracks, and so it might be 4 or 5 musicians on stage, but they have full choir backing, horn sections and stuff. Sure. And I've seen a lot of them. They're playing along with something like Ableton Live, and if we wanted to check, there's more. I love talking about this stuff. Is we could go ahead and set up a MIDI channel inside Ableton or Logic that sends program changes to the V-stage. So we could go ahead and program our V-stage or have Ableton change scenes for us on the fly if we're running and gunning.
Basically based on whatever those scene changes, those program notes are.
Yeah, this is an
Wow.
advanced thing, but it's the first time it's hard just getting the understanding, but after you do it, you're just blown away like, "What? I I just have to play. I don't have to focus on there." But the V stage doesn't leave you,
Sure.
once again, we have different modes where we can do. We have an external EX scene mode, which means we can go ahead and create sounds on the fly, and we don't even have to press right. They just save it automatically,
Okay.
whether I turn it on or off, so I can fine tune things. I also have a chain mode, which I can go ahead and have my favorite scenes on the fly and go through them however I want.
Perfect.
So this makes it really cool. So there's a lot of flexibility that we get with the V stage that I think I feel like we're ahead in that aspect with the V stage.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Some of this stuff, you probably, when a lot of keyboards come out, you don't see it until about maybe the second or third update release.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so a lot of this stuff, just giving it right off the bat is a game changer.
Yeah, and and some of these functions, like these latest ones I just showed you, that's more. You could say they're advanced, but it's like you buy such a powerful instrument. Let's learn how to run it as best we can. I always equate it to you bought a Ferrari, but you can't drive a stick. So like, come on, let me show you how to drive, and that way when you're playing your show. Be it for on tour or in or your various churches or live situations, people are just blown away, and you elevate yourself from just a regular keyboard player to maybe a musical director. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, absolutely,
that's
absolutely.
that's a great thing.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, definitely, we're at the question and answer portion. Does anybody out there have any questions? Drop a comment in the Zoom chat or in the Facebook chat below if you got any particular questions. And then, obviously, like I said, you can reach out to Ed on social media. Ed is always available, and
Yeah.
he's highly knowledgeable to answer any questions you may have. You can reach out to me. You can find me on social media as well. So I talk to musicians. Seems like day and night, talking about various different things.
Yeah, and I believe you have some V stages in stock as well. So
We sure do.
if you guys want to go get some V stages from Fox Music, support them as they support your community, music community, and just reach out. You got Charles there that's an expert, and so he can get you rocking and rolling with a Roland V stage.
Absolutely. I think we do have one question.
Sir.
Ah, th- can you send audio MIDI in and out at the same time using the USB
Good question.
connection?
So, can you send audio MIDI out at the same time over the USB? And the answer is yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So in that example, I didn't do it because a lot of times, I was sending audio of all those different parts,
Sure.
and I didn't send MIDI because a lot of times, it's a lot. It's not as impressive because it's just ones and zeros, it's binary code.
Yeah.
But absolutely, if I had wanted to, we could have. I could have armed the MIDI track. Maybe I should have in the future. I arm it so that way you can see it. But yes, you can because MIDI is a highway back and forth, not like regular MIDI cables, which are just a one-way street. So short answer is yes. Yes, you absolutely can.
Oh, wonderful. And just remember, guys, and ladies, on the back of here, you have two USB B outs on here to control external devices. So you can hook up three keyboards at once and have the V stage be your main brain.
Absolutely. Those external
Yes.
devices, they can feed off of the V stage sound engine because each of there's three MIDI channels for the organ. One, two, three. Four is acoustic piano. Five is electric piano. Six and seven is the synthesizer. But all of that can be rerouted per scene. So
Oh, wow.
so
Okay.
if you had a playing situation where you wanted to have an A88 Mark II and then the acoustic and electric piano just live down there, you could do that. Or you have, in their case over at Fox Music, the V Stage 88, and maybe you want the organ on a lighter action MIDI keyboard, you can route that to where when you go to that scene, it lives up there.
Ah,
So that's cool.
that's fantastic. It's great, great,
Yeah,
great question. And obviously, um, we've taken a, I won't say a deep dive. We stuck our toe in the water and maybe, up to our knee.
yeah,
But there's so much that we can really get into on this keyboard. And I just want to thank Ed for spending some time with us on today here. And don't worry, you're going to be seeing more of Ed and myself.
yeah,
We'll have some news soon.
yeah. We're
On
working on
that.
something,
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
So
we're working on.
we're working on something.
But definitely, Ed, anything you want to leave with us? We're so glad to have you. I'll give you a final word here.
Final word, Roland is listening. Great thing about Roland, unfortunately with the pandemic changed a lot of things, but some things that it changed for the better is Roland, we're able to communicate a lot better by doing more streaming, communicating amongst our different dealers across the United States and the world, and even with each other. So when I speak to you or meet you or in a session like this with Fox Music, when you say, Ed, why can't you do XYZ? Well, we're able to communicate with our other Roland throughout the different world and our engineers. And, a lot of times that leads to updates and different cool things. The great thing about this V stage is we really, really worked hard on this to try and give you, as Charles said, not the second or third update. Today, ahora, we make it work for you right out of the box. And
Right.
so, and Roland is there. You can also check us out at Roland Product Support on YouTube, which will have videos at some point with the V stage, working on a bunch of different content. And you support us, we support you, and we're going to have a great thing creating music with everybody. Yep. Ooh, oh my heel. And this is a real background. This isn't fake.
Yeah. No. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Wizard of Oz that you hear, you don't see his body, but you heard the voice. That's Mr.
Yeah.
Joseph Fox here, fourth generation, here at Fox Music House, and just like you said, we are the number one source in the Southeast for all things music, and so you can come and see the V stage here live, and not only play the V stage, but we can put the knowledge in your hands in order to make you an even better musician than you are now. And that's important. I think that kind of connection and connecting with people through music and just sharing the knowledge is one of the things I love about what I do. I'm pretty sure, Ed, you can definitely say the same.
100. Yes, I do. I love it. It's better than a real job. That's all I gotta say. So it's all good. And you know what I gotta tell you, and you probably feel the same. Nothing makes me prouder when I see a musician that I've helped out and I see them doing what they love on in stages, from like in a church to an arena to a concert to a TV, and nothing makes me prouder. So I just want to say that.
Absolutely. We have Fox Music. Like I said, we've been in the community almost 100 years, and we've seen musicians go from just coming in on Saturdays to performing in major venues and stadiums all across the world, and becoming big international stars. And those that you'll stop and ask, they'll tell you everybody has a Fox Music House story, and so Fox Music House story can't be properly written, obviously, without Roland. So we thank you, Ed, and we thank everybody there at Roland Corporation for all of the many years and the products that you guys have offered us and still are offering us now. And so we're just happy about this and everything else that is to come.
Wonderful.
Well, guys, um, this is Charles Miller here at Fox Music House. We thank you for joining us. Please like this, share this, send it to your friend, send it to your worship leader, your pastor, your favorite musician in town. Let them hear it, and come on by here at Fox Music House and let us go through this keyboard and see how this could perhaps enhance your house of worship and your music ministry, and also for you gigging musicians as well. I'm telling you, this will actually change everything that you do as a musician. So definitely, we thank you guys for staying tuned. Please, like I said, catch us on all social medias. This will be up on YouTube very soon. All righty. We love you guys, and we'll be back soon. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Take care.
All right. Hey, guys.
All right.
That was great. That was great, Ed.
Cool, cool.
Thank you,
How
man.
long did that go? I'm sorry. I just talked and talked.
I mean, we didn't start right at 2.
Oh, okay. It's a little over an hour. I
Yeah,
see
we're a
that.
little over an hour. Little over an hour.
Yeah. There's so many cool aspects to this board, and I always feel like I got to get the well, especially that recording side, just over
Yes.
USB
Yes.
C. It's game changer, and that'll be something. Um, you know, I'm really